So one day, many years ago, when I returned from living and working in Israel, where I had a leadership position as a violist in an orchestra, I experienced a phone conversation I'm going to describe to you. I was contacting various people to get ideas about how to navigate my career when I came back to the United States. One of the people I called was a well-known individual in the arts in New York who had been recommended to me to speak to. I explained the situation to him, that I was informally reaching out to colleagues to brainstorm about ideas. He was appallingly negative and quite harsh in telling me there was no word of encouragement he could offer. This was a long time ago, back in the 1980s. He said everything was very difficult, bleak, and there was no hope to find work. He said he certainly could not hire me, even though I repeatedly mentioned to him that I was actually not looking for a job, just ideas and perspectives to help me get settled back in this country. He was almost aggressively pessimistic. That phone call was quite shocking to me. In fact, I felt badly for him, wondering if I should have cheered him up. As I put the receiver of that old-fashioned telephone down, went like that. I shut my eyes really tight and said to myself, I will never be that person. As so often happens, it is the most challenging experiences, the difficult struggles, that sometimes teach us the most. This person's hopeless outlook was a powerful motivating force in my own life. I knew what he said was not true. Of course there is hope. Of course there is possibility. And this will be the case for each of our graduates. In an interesting way, it is experiences like the one I just shared with you that have led to me where the very fortunate place I am right now, because I so much want to convey to students that life is indeed promising and that there is enormous opportunity for each one of us to find meaning, deep meaning, and fulfillment in our lives. I experienced a very different situation at another phase of my career. In this era, I took what felt at the time like a very bold risk. It was about whether I should go ahead and knock on a door of someone I had never met. Keep in mind, this was the time we did not yet have cell phones, email, and texting. So you actually had to go look for someone if you wanted to meet them sometimes. I was looking for feedback and encouragement, but did not know what would happen when I stretched away from my comfort zone. At the time, I was studying in New York at New York University in the Juilliard School. I was soon going to be performing a solo piece by the composer Vincent Persichetti, who taught at Juilliard. I had never met him. I did not quite know how to tell him that I would soon be performing a piece he had written and ask if I could play it for him. I was quite anxious because I did not know what he would say. I was worried that he would say he could not meet with me, and it would be embarrassing, I thought. I remember this as if it was yesterday. I stood in front of the door of his Juilliard studio for the longest time, at least it felt very long, not knowing whether to knock on the door. I could hear that he was teaching a lesson, and I didn't know what to do. I almost left. However, something told me to hang in there and be patient. Finally, I knocked, just as he was completing his work with this student. I asked him if I could play the solo piece that he had written so I could have his feedback. Mr. Persichetti could not have been more gracious. So different from that telephone call, right? When we did finally meet, he provided me with feedback, support, and encouragement. From that first experience, we became good friends. And I performed another work of his as well for my New York debut recital several years later. Out of taking that risk to knock on Mr. Persichetti's door came some wonderful opportunities. He wrote me poetic letters about the sound of the viola. He called the viola a dark orange sound. I remember that. And these reflections are part of a historical archive of his papers, now housed in the university library. More than anything else, I am happy and fortunate that I took that risk. I would have missed so much if I hadn't, and I would not be able to share with you today that it was all worth it to knock on that door. Graduates, throughout your lives, look for encouragement. Seek it out. Let the negative experiences, and it is just the way life is to have some of these, after all. I think we all have them from time to time. Let the negative experiences only strengthen your resolve and determination to succeed and discover what means most to you. Never let any person or experience keep you or discourage you from celebrating your talents and pursuing your dreams. As alumni, you will forever be part of the UNLV and College of Fine Arts families. You have tremendous prospects and potential in front of you in your lives, and I am thrilled that each one of you has reached this incredible milestone. What a journey each of you has had. Truly, congratulations. I could not be prouder of each one of you graduates. I know your loved ones, family, and dear friends join me in wishing you all the very best for your next adventures and for your exuberant and exciting futures. Thank you very much.